mama mentality. I am the masterpiece, life is the crap. These love me and I can't resist them, but I'm only guilty of slipping too fast. Life is by legacy, what lies ahead of me, helping to get peace with this past. Little bitty regular that I pack, 007 before you react. Don't think twice, my only advice for my granddad before he passed.
6回目6回目。
On everything I love, try not to brag till you bring it up. Tunnel vision, block opinions, and I could give but think of us. Duck jab hooks in it through the roof with an uppercut. Tell the truth, shut the devil up. In the booth, I'm untouchable. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, so you gon' see. Yeah, got power from my head and my feet.
2で3、4、5、6か。6回目。6回目やな。こっちで。Nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a Renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my.
Welcome to week 1 of the NFL preseason, where the rookies of today hope to become the stars of tomorrow. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 23.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight we kick off the preseason with a good matchup right away between the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. Charles Davis alongside me, and I'm Brandon Gaudin. And folks, the wait is over. Yes, it's just the preseason, but football is back in your living room.
And I'm excited. I know you are as well. The summer heat feels good on these old bones, especially because we're not putting on pads. We don't have to be out there in that heat running into other people. But I'm glad these guys are. Football is back.
Yes.
And off we go for Denver.
よし、取った。
Fielded just outside the goal line.
さあ、走る、走る、走る、走る、走る。
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings him out.
And not only was it great to see Dak Prescott make his return in 2021, it's even better to see him playing the best ball of his career. He didn't lead Dallas to just a division title and its best record in 6 years. Dallas also led the league in yards and points, the first time it has led in both since 1971.
Dak going to start out going here.
よっしゃー。おーっと。
Taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 36 yards on the play.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield, instead checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come on 1st and 10.
さあ横から走る。
The Cowboys and Broncos, some of you may or may not remember, they played in a Super Bowl back in the 70s, Super Bowl 12 in fact, won by the Cowboys and Roger Staubach, 27-10. Last year, it was the Broncos who put together one of the stunners of the year. Week 9, they led 30-0 at one point in the fourth quarter and wound up hanging on 30-16 in Dallas.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Prescott. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll start at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. 届きません。惜しい。もうちょいやな。棒に当たってるし。見事に弾き飛ばされる。
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Denver's offense now set to go. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to. They also have to have interest in the running game as well. They did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
That's pretty much mean potatoes right there. Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson on the throw led him too much that time.
ローゼンさん、改めて配信お疲れ様でした。来た。
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal.
茶間に合わず。入ってんのか。3点取られましたね。
Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT.
よっしゃ。走る。うわー、捕まる。
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now and terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Prescott.
これは
It's going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Washington, that's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
The clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game.
よっしゃ。おーっと走る。
He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Prescott on first down. His hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
よっしゃ。パクられた。
Picked off by Ronald Darby. The Broncos are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Last time you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get it free. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with just kicking the extra points as well. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. From the gun, got his man complete in the middle. That's Quinn. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 33. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off for big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw again.
真ん中におる。抑え込む。怪我してるか。怪我してる。相手さん怪我しましたね。
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Trey Quinn that time, but now it's 3rd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be.
抑え込まれる。けど抑える。
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the
迷ってる間に抑え込む。
helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing: the O-line coach will.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away.
よいしょ。
He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one.
あら、横に入ってる。
He put that on a dime. He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
They're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field.
これはやばい。
Offense comes out here, Charles. Remember, they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work.
逃げる逃げる逃げる。
Another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who was so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell,
かわすんがまたおもろいですね。
most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
ちょっとだけ戻した。
Space to operate now. First and 10 from right around the 12.
そこから行くけどやっぱり捕まる。
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
横にパスして、もっとたたた。
So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now rush.
ああ、カットされた。
And incomplete. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
ここはスカイキックで。ああ、下すぎてゲージが見えん。全然あかん。これはひどいな。表示がなんかゲージに隠れて見えんかったよ。あれ、怪我したんかな。ああ、怪我してる。あまりに下すぎてゲージが隠れてましたね。
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go around ends in 6. In good position, first and 10.
間に合わなかった。やばい。やられてもた。見てておもろい。まんまと取られてまいりましたね。完璧に通ってもた。やられましたね。これまたもう1点入るかも。間に合わん。これは決めますよ。まだ10点やから。よいしょ。さあ、走る走る。抑え込まれる。
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
さあ、どう攻めるか。真ん中そうすけどな。
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. To throw is Rush.
Ah.
And it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield.
No, stop.
Incomplete. That's Ferguson.
あ、また怪我してる。怪我人が多いですね、今日。えらい腹抱えてる。
Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. A 1st and 10 here, and you know if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And he's going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 2nd and 13.
よっしゃ。逃げる、走る、しゃー。いった。逃げ切る。
And the Cowboys get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
左から攻めて、1人かわして、さあ、もう1点欲しい。よいしょ。これで3点差に。
5 plays there on that drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Garrett back out there now to send this one away.
バチコーンと。さあ、止めろ。
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Now rip it.
間に合わんか。よっしゃ、いった。
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football, as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if things continue the way they've been going. Most of the starters are likely done. These coaching staffs getting ready to evaluate the youngsters in the second half. And to call the remainder of this preseason opener, we go back to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Probably not likely to
to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener.
さあ、止めろ。うわ、なんかすごいことになってる。
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line can play a little bit better. I think they'll try to keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers. Because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you, the defensive side of the ball gets super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play. Really setting the tone for this third quarter. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Offside combo 間に合わんかった。もうちょいやった。
So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense? They're able to step up and keep themselves in this one.
横行って持てる。危ない。
Taken right on the 30.
逃げる。
A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what do we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Throwing on second. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
On 1st and 10. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But Charles, you take a look at the draft class for this offense. It's highlighted by a first-round pick who provides a much-needed boost to their offensive line.
And you and I both know it's the kind of pick that doesn't often get a fan base really excited. But I know who is excited. Their quarterback. He won't get hit as much. And that should improve the rest of the offense as well.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a
見てるだけでいいな。やるより見る方がいいですわ。抑えられる。しまった。ペナルティ。これはやってんやった。やりたいんだけど、やる時間がないか。止めろ。横から止めるさ。このリアルさはいいですよね。 前よりなんかさらにリアルになってますね。これ PC で出てたんでしたっけ？多分出てるような。これ Ps5 ですけどね。
Here's Sam Martin now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
うわー、これは間に合わず。
50 yards of punt so far as this one's away.
あ、やばいやばい、流れてもうた。はい、やってもうた。
Looking for the checkout bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10.
家庭用だけでしたっけ？あー、通らんか。
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
よっしゃー、通ったー。走る走る、いただきます。走りまくりよっしゃ走る走る。
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines, but the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead.
あー、ずれた。よいしょ。これで14点。
The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Garibay back out there now to send this away. Taken at the goal line.
よいしょよいしょ。あー、ケンさん毎度です。木村拓哉ついに明日から大阪ですね。あー、真ん中来た真ん中来た。なんとか逆転しましたよ。また真ん中来た。あ、やばいやばいやばい。ちょうどこの右の青い方でカーボーイってとこですね。激しいぶつかり合いですね。まあ今日からね、一般発売されてるんで。おっしゃ、パクったー。走る走る走る。よいしょ。いただきました。
But that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you could lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
まんまといただきましたね。買うけど時間がない。なかなかね。さあ、さらにもう1点。よいしょ。 いやー、いろいろね、やってるゲームがあると難しいですよね。まあ、あれもこれもやりたなるから。あー、ずれた。おっと。
Decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And coming out now, the Broncos. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising.
まあ、真ん中来た、真ん中来た。あーっと。
Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
あー、もたついてる、もたついてる。あー、通ってもた。
Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route, and the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
あ、また真ん中来た。
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, second down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
抑えられる、抑えられる。おっしゃ、パクった。パクりました、パクりました。走る、走る、走る。走りまくり。よいしょ。いい感じで、ちょっと取りにくかったけど、そのまま走り逃げで。さあ、さらにもう1点。これで28点。
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. And certainly this, not the performance that they were hoping for to begin the exhibition season, but still plenty to watch for in this fourth quarter.
また真ん中来た。結構真ん中も来ますね。また真ん中来た。
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play.
逃げた。おっとおっと、なんやなんや、もたついとる。なんやなんや。
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but
通
probably
っ
good for
た
him to
け
get it out of
ど
his system
こ
right
こで
now.
ポロリしてから
And a team that's not assigned to things to come.
なんか
Yeah,
ごた
without a
ついて
doubt.
ましたね。
Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. It has been a dream start to the preseason thus far as they look to finish things strong in the fourth quarter. They'll go with Pollard here on first down.
抑え込んでる間に横から行くけど
Corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football.
逃げてパクってポロリンポロリンポロリンチョですな。
First down and it's
おっ
Pollard
と、
again.
しまった。やってもた、やってもた。あ、逃げた、逃げた、逃げた。逃げ、逃
And
げ
he。is going to lose yardage here.
真ん中でライ、
First down play.
もみ合いになってましたね。
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
ロングパーサー、取られてもたか。 そうそうそうそう。
Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force their mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Yeah, still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to find
抑え込まれてる。
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game,
なん
you're
か
feeling really good.
投げようと
Now
し
they
て
have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a
あ、
number
やっぱやめ
is
とこ
just
みたい
staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try
いや
after the
ー、
first
抑えろ、
down
抑えろ。
sack.
あー、間に合わんかった。
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break.
いや
And you can add another
ー、
incompletion
横
to
か
the
ら聞く
total
けど。
number that they forced in
あ
this
ーっと、危
runaway
ない。
contest.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. That's a pickup of 15, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. On 4th down, ripping. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
いやー、間違った。おーっと、あー、刺された。
7 yards there and a first down.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. It'll be a handoff to Pollard.
あー、間違い飛んでもうた。うわーっと。
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
K1 横から行くけど捕まる。
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
やっぱこっちから。あー、間違った。よっしゃ。
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big
終了。
and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments.
逆転勝ちでしたね。
Best adjustments usually are. It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland. Our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings. And coming up, we're going to tell the story of a man who was truly larger than life and whose impact on the sport of football, certainly it's going to live on for decades and decades to come. Now, we've assembled a couple of rosters featuring some of Coach's favorite players from both yesterday and today. And Coach himself will be on the sidelines for both squads, trying to motivate his guys to victory. Now, I'm joined now by my good different Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loves so much?
For me, Brandon,
これが言ってたマッテンさんですね。
Coliseum back to its original 70s glory. What a scene in the East Bay.
こぼしてるし。
From the end zone, here comes Williams.
And
he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much.
今のが言ってたマッテンさん。
So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coaching.
顔がまためっちゃリアルで。
So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL, and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over in Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. He played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle in Oregon.
取られる。
Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36-16-2. That's pretty incredible. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They take the handoff. Now Brady.
通りそう。危ない。
End zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
真ん中押した。
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Jack Youngblood. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Brady to throw.
Under
pressure, they got him again. The pressure
pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage.
真ん中にサイン書いてるのがやっぱすごいですね。フィールドにサイン書いてますね。
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. On now is Vinatieri as he'll try the field goal. This a 43-yard attempt. Vinatieri's kick is good. And the AFC on the board first. It's 3-0. So Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game, and then make it hurt with an extra with a field goal. And anytime you get the ball, what's the first thing the coach does?
I'm not on the side.
You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense.
よっしゃー。走ります。走ります。あーちゃ。
Shy at a 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. But the NFC offense coming out here, and you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game. And if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling the coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. Every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958, was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp, actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm.
取られてもうたけどすぐ止める。
Picked up by the 8-time Pro Bowler Steve Atwater. So they got the football and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Well, they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
どすこいどすこい。ガブリオリだ。
2 seconds to go, first quarter.
また来た、真ん中。
He's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter in the books at the Coliseum. What a day. It's the AFC Stars with the early lead. This is the
岡山がどすこいどすこいとインチガブリオリ。
The AFC with a football here to begin the second quarter. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
ハローウェンディ。ハローっていうか夜中かな。
He finds his man complete. It's Gonzalez. And he'll get from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
夜中の1時ぐらいと違うんですか。
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
多分夜中の1時と思いますよ。うわっと。
great shot. He needed two. He only got one. And as a result, possession switches hands. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
今日でも昨日もそうですけど配信やってなかったですね。あ、間違った。横行ってもたな。
Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two they really would become one of the best.
今日も確かやってなかったと思うんですよ。
And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
ああ、さすがにロングすぎ。
Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged to the AFL. And Coach Madden, he did dividends. They helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968, and that meant a date with the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl.
ああ、届いにくい。
1969 at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon. John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders, and what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
Charles, you talked about John Madden and the Raiders going on a ride. Well, try these numbers on for size. In 10 seasons as a head coach, the Raiders won their division 7 times. They finished second the other 3 times, and he became the youngest coach to amass 100 career regular season victories and is still, to this day, the franchise leader in wins.
And when you think about it, that's where that rivalry with Kansas City really took root. As did the expression commitment to excellence.
どすこい。ジャパニーズどすこい。
On offense, how about quarterback Kenny Stabler, wide receiver Cliff Branch, wide receiver Fred Biletnikoff, tight end Dave Casper, to name a few. How about those great linemen he had? Center Jim Otto, guard Gene Upshaw, tackle Art Shell, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And guys on the defensive side of the ball, the Mad Stork himself, Ted Hendricks, Willie Brown, John Matuzak, Otis Sistrunk, and Big Ben Davidson. So many great players, so many great memories.
And we want to let you know, give you a fair warning that coming up at halftime, the folks at EA Sports have put together a very nice package in tribute to Coach Madden. So make sure you stick around for that. Again, coming up at halftime. First catch of the game for George Kittle. Charles, you think about all the success that John Madden had as an NFL head coach, and he had plenty, and we talked about it, including 10 straight winning seasons, a Super Bowl title. But like any great coach, he also suffered through a few tough losses along the way as well.
And Brandon, those tough losses came in high-stakes games because they always had such great success. Think about it this way. 6 times in his 10 years, the Raiders were knocked out near the AFL championship game or the AFC championship game. There might be a divisional round exit. That's the one that bothered him most of all. Memorial Stadium, December 1972. Yes, the Immaculate Reception game. Franco Harris grabbed the ball, deflected, almost at his shoe tops and picked it up, and took it in for a game-winning score to give the Steelers a 13-7 victory. And partner,
そうだ。抑えられる。
The CD, we spoke of some of the Raiders' tough playoff losses through the decade of the 70s, but for one shining season, they put it all together, and that was 1976. You remember a 13-1 regular season, a memorable playoff win over New England. They dominated the Steelers 24-7 in the AFC title game, and then a meeting with the Minnesota Vikings in Super Bowl 11.
Oh, Brandon, what a game that was down at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. A gorgeous 53-degree day, perfect for football. Raiders get out to a 16-0 lead at the half, and Clarence Davis, no relation, although I would certainly claim him. Strong on the ground, 137 yards rushing. MVP of that game, catching everything that came his way. Kenny Stable running the offense with precision, and we all remember the one to seal it. The grand old man himself, Willie Brown, with the laser-focused eyes, picking off Fran Tarkenton and taking it 75 yards for a touchdown. 32-14 the final score. Raiders had their first Super Bowl title, and we got the iconic shot of Coach Madden being lifted on the shoulder pads of his players.
600位になってましたからね。タックルを見るたびにジャパニーズも
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
おーし、入った。やっと入った。
As the first half is winding down, and the NFC has taken the lead.
これは完全に通った。
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Morton Anderson now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it
これで7点目。
So that consumes 9 plays in total. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable.
ああ、いい、全然何もやってないっていう。
You know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great teams. And I think he saw a lot
増え方がすごいですよね。あっという間に。この間500人やったり、もう600人ですからね。
You better make sure you have him accounted for on every play.
And that's exactly right, because Dave Casper, he could shred defenses down the middle of the field. And that's exactly what Tony Gonzalez did in his entire career. A 14-time Pro Bowl selection. Only Tom Brady has more. There are 6 guys in the 15,000-yard receiving club.
この間500人行って2日か3日前に600人行ってるんですよ。スモータックル。
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Brady going to try and throw.
よーっと。ああ、通ってんのか。
He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away.
ああ、来た。これは入らん。
It's well short, well right to boot. So we're at halftime of the John Madden Legacy game, and now we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley.
What comes to mind when you hear the name Madden?
ああ、これが流れた。
Is it the coach who led the Raiders to their first Super Bowl victory?
子犬は私に寄り添ってます。ああ、子犬が。
Or maybe it's the video game, known simply by his name. But no matter what comes to mind when you hear the name Madden, everyone thinks of one thing: football.
The core of it was football. It's the greatest game in the world. The left goes to the right goes to the left. Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. John Madden goes on the shoulders of his players.
In my mind, John Madden is the most important figure in the history of professional football. Show me somebody else who did it on 3 levels the way John did it. There's nobody.
Boy, Charles, yeah, that is really well done. Coach was something else, wasn't he?
あっという間に行くと思いますよ。
Davis said he was inducted coach of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Brandon. He loved the game. He loved his team. He loved the Raiders. He loved this league. And you can see it with everything he does.
No doubt. But it's quite possible, though, that now he would say, hey, enough of that. Let's play some football. The second half forthcoming from Oakland. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. This taking in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly, and this is going to be intercepted. Hall of Famer John Lynch, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. This was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very crucial.
増えると思いますよ。もう年内多分行くと思いますよ。
They'll throw on first down. Incomplete. It's Moss. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had. One that connected with everyone.
In danger of squandering the great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
And
he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Oh, 横から行く。シャー来た。横から行く。
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Anderson on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A drive there of just 3 plays. And Barry Sanders, the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well. Especially the quarterback. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brady.
おっと、落とした落とした。よっしゃー。奪い取る奪い取る。
The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
そのまま行く。
If the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. That's what they've done all game long.
転がってる間に。
Now to try to add the extra point, the lefty Anderson. And it's 21-3. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. A fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return.
悪口を言いました。
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
ああ、電池がなくなってきたな。
The offense for the AFC set to go now. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together.
止められん。あー、来た。よいしょ。
Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. To throw, it's Brady.
止める。
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The fridge, William Perry, coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
よいしょ。来た。
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
ちょっと待ってくださいよ。1時。中断。ちょっと電話がかかってきましたね。電話中断ですね。すんませんね。ちょっと電話をしてたんで。電話をしてました。よいしょ。
So through 3 quarters of the John Madden Legacy game, it's the NFC Stars and young Coach Madden on top. And we'll be back to the Coliseum after this. Back now here on EA Sports. The AFC thus far on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. On the Titans, here's Allen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
よいしょ。うわー、真ん中来た、真ん中来た。
This is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation,
逃げる逃げる逃げる逃げる。ああ。
As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career.
ああ、捕まれる、捕まれる。おー、逃げた。逃げた、逃げた、逃げた、逃げた、逃げた。今のちょうど横に曲がっていきましたね。ああ、落としてもた。
And even the Madden Cruiser was unique, and you had to be someone to get a ride on it, too.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
ゴール手前ですよ。
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this year.
電話をしてました。
We've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of
電話をしてました。
but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards
電話をしてました。
not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
8 yards to go on second down. Back near his goal line. Here's Brady.
抑えられる、抑えられる。
Looking sideline, incomplete. Now, CD, we did get a little ahead of ourselves talking about John Madden, the broadcaster in the 90s and 2000s, because there was another product during that time period that he became quite famous for. It's something that you and I know a little bit about, and that's the video game that bears his name. Originally John Madden Football when it was first released back in the late 1980s, and now known the world over simply as Madden.
And Coach saw this originally as a way to teach the game of football. The early designs were for a 7-on-7 game, but he said no chance. He would not sign off on it. He wanted to be as realistic as possible. He told them, call me when it's 11-on-11. And he got his wish.
Yeah, after that debut, Madden the video game continued to pick up steam through the 90s in a big way. And John himself, many will remember, was a commentator for the series for many years. And now here we are in the 2020s, and this game has sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 million copies. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. To try again after the sack.
おっと、よっしゃ、来た。来た来た来た来た来た来た来た。来た来た親父、来た来た親父。よいしょ。
This has just really been a solid second half from them, CD, as they add another touchdown to the lead and they start to pull away in what was once a close ball game.
Yeah, they actually put the Jets on in this one, didn't they? Put a little cherry on top with that touchdown. Now we just got to play out this final minute, and they'll get a chance to celebrate a very hard-earned victory.
よいしょ。
Anderson on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
戻ってもうた。
Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
これでメンションで逆になってる。おっと。
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Brady now on first down.
いやー、横に来た。
And he'll find Hall. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. To throw again on second down. Brady.
おっと来た。来た来た来た来た。そのまま引く。よいしょ。
One back for an NFC touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Now to try to add the extra point, the lefty Anderson.
He's
been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to
13-5 に。 さすがにもう寝てるかな。
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't. Because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
And not
much to speak of. So it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. And before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
マッテンさんですね。
I just say this, I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all.
Thanks, coach. マッテン。よいしょ。さあ、終わりましょうかね。よいしょ。はーい、お疲れ様でした。もう寝てるかもしんないですけどまあ一応夜中の1時40分ですからね。多分もう寝てるような気がするような。よいしょ。さあ、では。